tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? What is going on? It is On Point Discussion exclusively on the Lounge Room Network. Thursday, May 14th, 2021. Happy Thursday, everyone. Yours truly at Bears Fanatic 94, joined by my two co-hosts, Julius and Wyatt. You can find them each on Twitter at The Fifth Top, at The Cornelius7, respectively. And for this first segment, we're going to do something we haven't done on the show, and that is have a guest on, but you're not going to be here for the whole time, Adam. He's gonna join us for a quick segment here on the issues affecting the United States and the gasoline shortage that is taking place down, especially hitting hard in Adam's neck of the woods down there in the South. But Adam, I wanna let you introduce yourself first. It's your first time on here on the show with us. For those who don't know, he is the host of the Bama Lounge, and you're also doing another podcast now, Adam. What's that all about?
Well, first off, thanks for letting me on tonight. I appreciate it. You guys know I listen to you guys every week. So yeah, Bama Lounge, it's always out. Everybody knows that follows me there. But we started a new one last week. It's the 19th Green Podcast. So any golf fans out there, it's live every Thursday at 7:30. We go live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So if anybody enjoys golf, it's just two idiots talking golf, really. Be honest. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on tonight, though.
At least you're honest about what's happening over on the golf pod.
I mean, well, Brandon's good at golf, like really good. I'm just like, Caddyshack.
Well, I have obviously I know the talent that you have at podcasting, and I know that Brandon is also, he has that voice for radio. I believe he had a show actually down in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, a few years back. So
yeah, he's
obviously
great.
Yeah, obviously I know that you guys are both capable of bringing some awesome content. So yeah, make sure to shoot them a follow on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
But for the time being, though, we are here because we want to discuss with you. We want to get a firsthand perspective as to what's going on with this gasoline shortage. And I know, up here in Wisconsin where I'm at, it just happens to be that we're not dealing with some of the stuff that you guys are dealing with down there in the South. In recent days, we've seen a lot of pictures come out with people buying gasoline and putting it in plastic bags. Like,
First off, okay, the plastic bag thing is just dumb as it is. But did you see the one where the lady had a laundry basket with holes in it, filling up with? Like, are you freaking kidding me?
I really want to believe that was either a fake picture or that someone cropped the laundry basket in, because
you want to believe that, but
I can't even begin to believe something like that. I just can't. Like I know which picture you're referencing, because I believe I was the one who sent that picture in our group chat earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I said, I know that people are desperate to do stupid things. Unfortunately, that's just the society that we live in. But I absolutely 100% refuse to believe that this individual woman was filling up a laundry basket with holes. I mean, I think it was photocropped.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, I'm like, too many fumes from the gas. I don't know. But down here in Tennessee, it's I don't. Julius, you're up there in Michigan, right? So like, are you in Michigan?
No, I'm in the great state of Texas.
Oh, I thought why are you a Detroit fan then?
Look at my Twitter bio.
I don't read your Twitter bio. You're never on Twitter.
I'm an adopted Texan, my man.
Hey,
guys don't read guys' Twitter bios.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys know that?
Well, I guess I'm metrosexual when it comes to Twitter bio.
So let's just say, let's use Detroit as a reference then. So people up, when it snows, right, up in the north, they're used to that. Down here, if you get a hint of a flurry, everybody's going to the gas, to Walmart or Kroger or whatever, and buying milk and bread, right? It's the same thing right now. What's going on down here with gas? Like, so it was $2.49, which it's pretty cheap down here. $2.49 5 days ago, and now it's $2.99. So let's talk. I mean, that's price gouging at its finest, right? So these guys bought, however many gallons and gallons of gas 5 days ago before this happened, and now they raised it 50 cents a gallon. So that's one thing that's insane. But just the fact that the way that everybody reacts down here and feeds off of social media and what the news is saying, everybody go get gas, it's insane. My daughter went the other night, and it was, I think, 45 minutes it took her to get gas. And there's about four gas stations.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, so go ahead.
There's about four, I'd say four gas stations around me. I know two up the road were completely out. The one actually by where we live is from what I saw, still has gas. But people are just, and I heard it's fixed now. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I heard that they fixed it. So who knows how long it's going to take, for gas trucks to start coming back out. But I don't know how it is for you guys, but down here it's like fend for all. And the prices have just dramatically increased over the past, I'd say, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and so from what I know, what I heard was that they had gotten the situation fixed, and that gradually, we're going to start to see gas shipments arrive, in the affected areas, right? Mm-hmm. But this isn't going to be a situation that's going to get fixed with a flip of a switch. I mean, it's going to take a while to get all of these service stations back up and going at full capacity, at full strength. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you still continue to see a lot of these issues down in your neck of the woods, with this pipeline that, was ultimately hacked. Now, I think, what we need to recognize, people are probably wondering, well, why is it just one part of the country that's going through this? Well, that particular pipeline, if I'm not mistaken, runs through that part of the country where you guys are at down there. So clearly, right? I mean, that's your main revenue, or that's your main stream of gasoline. Mm-hmm. So of course, that's how that shortage is going to come about. I made the comparison the other day that this is almost like that gas shortage in the 1970s, where you had all those cars lined up, mm-hmm. ready to go and ready to pick up, get their weekly ration of gas, for their car.
What it's really like is when COVID started and everybody got toilet paper.
Yes, that is the perfect analogy to this, because really that's exactly how that happened. Mm-hmm. You had people, remember last year when you had all these people going and picking up like 2,000 packs, or just a whole bunch of toilet paper, and then just hoarding it in their house. I mean, that's literally what this is.
Those people still have toilet paper.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's and even with other products too. It's like with your hand sanitizer and your hand soap. Like back in 2020, all that stuff would cost $10. I mean, just to buy a little container of soap, and now you're seeing it in the freaking clearance section of all of these stores. It's like, look at how fast everything changes. I mean, it's like 2021 came in, people were like, you know what, screw it, we're done. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is the last thing I'll say on this, and then I'll let Wyatt or Julius jump in. But about a month ago, I went to a store up here in Wisconsin. It's called Woodman's, and they had a sale. If you buy a 12-pack of toilet paper for like $4.99 or whatever, you automatically get a gallon of hand sanitizer for 10 cents. I have a freaking gallon of hand sanitizer sitting in my utility closet in my my attic not my attic, my foyer down there. I'll post a picture of it on Twitter. But it is a whole gallon of hand sanitizer that I got for a dime.
But a year ago you paid $7.99.
But a year ago you would probably end up paying at least $20 for a gallon of hand sanitizer if they even sold them that big. So
right.
Wyatt or Julius, any thoughts on this gas shortage that the southern part of the United States is currently dealing with?
Are you feeling? I'm not feeling the shortage here in New Mexico, but what's going on reminds me of the September 11th. As soon as that happened, the same day, September 11th, that tragedy happened. Gas stations across the nation, people were lining up to get gas because they thought there was going to be a gas shortage. And a week later, everything was back to normal. What I'm hearing is happening with the gas shortages in the eastern coast, the East Coast, or if you're in that area, they're thinking 2 to 3 weeks, but maybe it could be sooner in some areas. But the only thing we're experiencing here in New Mexico is the rise of gas prices. But nobody with a laundry basket trying to fill up gasoline. I mean, oh my gosh. So that's all I see here. I mean, it's just related to
people are like I always try to get the best side of people. I always try to think that people really aren't that idiotic. But when I see pictures of people or of drivers in this country putting gasoline in shopping bags, and when I see a federal government account tweeting out things about don't put gasoline in Walmart bags, don't put gasoline in milk jugs. I mean, seriously, come on, guys. Like, come on.
No shit.
Like it's where in the hell are we as a society? Like, come on.
And insert Julius.
Listen. I don't
Julius,
have much to say
Julius
about
is probably
the
out
gas.
there. Julius was out there probably filling his freaking shopping bags with gas too.
No, that ain't me, player. That ain't me. Listen, it didn't affect us in Central Texas either. It affected some of us down in Houston, where the pipeline kind of ends to the west, but it didn't affect us. But gas prices are higher. I had to spend like $40 to put half a tank of gas in my truck the other day. You know how mad I was? I used to spend like $1.80 like 2 summers ago. What's up? It's almost like $2.60 down here now. Like, it's getting higher. We talked about this too. And it's going to come back to Biden. Who we about to talk about? We're about to talk about this guy. And he has a bunch of stuff going on right now. But the gas thing goes back to him too.
I was told today that gas prices in this country between now and last year are the same. I need.
Who told you that? CNN?
You talking to
Washington
Biden?
Post?
No. I was told on Twitter. Today that gas prices have primarily stayed the same between this time last year and right now. That is a blatant lie.
I don't think so, man.
That is an absolute blatant lie. I mean, one year ago, I was paying $1. It's like $1.99.
Yeah, it was cheap
at the pump.
Remember, it was the cheapest it had ever been.
Yeah, right now, I remember when it was like 80-some cents like a gallon a year ago. Obviously, that was because of the pandemic. But right now, a year later, it is $2.82 here in Milwaukee to fill up.
Yeah,
that it's not the same. You just can't. You can't say, yeah, it's the exact same price that it was a year ago. That's just not true. That's not factual. That's fake news, which we're all very familiar with around here. But any final thoughts here? I know, Adam, you have a show you're going to be recording later tonight. You want to give us
in about 30 minutes?
You want to give us a sneak preview?
So you guys hurry up and get off here, and then go watch my podcast. Now, nothing special. We're lining up some guests here in the near future. Brandon's got some things he's working on. He's the golf guru. So tonight's gonna be me kind of going over I picked a golfer last week, that Justin Thomas, who's an Alabama guy, that I picked to win, and he didn't do so hot, and Brandon's guy ended up getting third. So I'm gonna never live this down for about 30 minutes tonight, probably. But yeah, nothing major. We're gonna just talk golf tonight, and then hopefully next week we got a good guest coming on. So we'll keep everybody tuned in for it.
Well, Adam, I sincerely appreciate you for jumping in on the show with us. At Roll Tide 9317, his name is Aaron. He's actually a Bears fan. I know him here, but big Bam fan, and he was just giving us a shout out here on the live stream. So, you're
Roll Tide, buddy. Roll Bam Tide.
And then Adam says, "What's up, everyone?" Of course, Adam down in Florida. Shout out to all of our viewers who are watching us here in Florida. Big shout out to them. I know it's probably really nice down there right now. Here in Wisconsin, it's currently 50 some degrees. It's pretty cold, and yes, I'm quite jealous of the nice warm weather that you guys are probably all experiencing. The three of you probably experiencing in your neck of the woods. So, Adam, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
it's nice to see you.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you. I'll run into you here in the coming days. As always.
It'll happen.
It's going to happen. Usually always does, at least on Saturday nights.
All right, boys. I appreciate you guys letting me.
Thanks, Adam.
See you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Have a good night.
Thanks, buddy.
So that was Adam from the Bama Lounge, and of course his golf podcast as well that he has here on the network. Good insight into the gas shortage down that he is experiencing in his neck of the woods. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic here on the On Point Discussion show. We're about 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Remember that On Point Discussion is brought to you by our friends over at One Call Technology. And, of course, the Lounge Room Network and the podcast is sponsored in part also by our friends over at Fanatics. The CDC today came out with brand new guidelines saying that all individuals who are fully vaccinated no longer need to wear a mask in certain places. Julius, it just happens to be before the show, was able to catch up with a lot of the news from this afternoon, and I think he has a lot to say, because just by the way I'm looking at him, he looks like he's ready to go off. So Julius, the floor is yours. What is on your mind, good sir? What's going on? Why are you sad? Why are you angry?
I'm about to roast Joe Biden and his entire administration. All right, I'm sick of it. All right, okay. Who are they to tell me that I can take my mask off if I follow their rules? What does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you? I got a few words that pop to mind: oppression, fascist, authoritarian, communist, everything bad about politics and big government, okay? And Biden and them actually attempting this. Guess what? Guess what's about to happen? Guess what's about to be the result of this, guys? Everybody about to take their mask off, even the people who didn't get the vaccine. Because all you're going to have is people rebel against this. You can't tell red-blooded Americans of all races, creeds, orientations that you can do that. You can have this freedom if you do this. You cannot make that transaction with the American people, Joe Biden. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you live, Talks on Point, you cannot make that deal with the American people. Okay? Just tell us we can take our mask off. The vaccine is distribution is going pretty well among most American adults, maybe a little less than half. The infection rate is way lower. We can start selling all these extra doses we have to other countries, or giving it away to poorer countries who can't afford it, and go back to normal life like it's looking like it's projecting. Don't tell the American people that you can have this for that, okay? That's not what we're going to do. I don't care. It's 2021. This is not about to happen. It's just going to backfire on you, Joe Biden. Everybody going to take off their mask anyway, and we're gonna look at you like you're like the new Saddam Hussein or Kim Jong Un, Kim Jong Biden. What that's his new nickname, Kim Jong Biden. Okay, because he's been doing a lot of North Korean things. There's a lot of North Korean things going down in the White House. So until further notice, he'll be known as Kim Jong Biden. This is going to backfire, and it's off. The rant is over. The rant is over.
Is that really a fair analysis to give to the president of the United States? Though, I mean, if like, and I'm
what
asking,
did I just say? You cannot make that transaction with the American people. You cannot say you can have this freedom if you do this. You can't do that. He's not King George. This is not a monarchy. This is the democracy. Power to the people. Remember.
So I continue to be in the agreement that if
you're a libertarian.
What was that?
You're a libertarian.
I know, but I also like to be logical.
That's true.
I don't like to be. I'm not one of those batshit crazy libertarians who's like abolish everything, run naked down the streets. That's not who I am. But what I am though is a person who tries to be reasonable and tries to be fair. I continue to sustain the notion or the belief that if you don't want to get vaccinated, there shouldn't be anything that is going to force you to be vaccinated or to get vaccinated. I agree with that. I agree with part of what you said though about the ultimatum thing. If you don't do this, you can't do that. That sounds very. It sounds very manipulating.
If they would have thrown the word recommend into the statement or something or into the tweet, but they didn't. They said you could take your mask off if you got the vaccine.
It's a very fine line between what you can or you should not do and what you cannot. It's very blurry, and I just don't think that the president or any governmental body in this country has the authority to say, if you don't do this in the way that we want you to do it, you're not going to get, whatever the ultimatum may be. Now, there are states that are trying to incentivize the vaccine. You have states like Ohio who are now giving out money or entering you in like a drawing or a lottery of sorts. And they say, if you get at least one shot of the vaccine, you're entered in to win $1 million. So if, individual states are I don't know if it's desperation. I don't know if it's foolishness. I don't know if it's, we just want people to get vaccinated so we can get back to a somewhat normal life. But there's just so much happening at one time with this. And I think at the end of the day, what is going to end up happening, I think, is that a lot of these individual, conflicts between, yes, I want the vaccine, or no, you shouldn't get the vaccine, or no, I don't want the vaccine. I think they're going to end up at the Supreme Court level. And it's not going to be until the Supreme Court can actually rule on these things that you're going to start to see, I think, a little bit more consistency. But that's my opinion. Obviously, and I've said this many times, I am not one to shame someone because they did or didn't get a shot, a vaccine. That's not my place. It's not my lane. And that's something that I will forever, that's a standard I'll always have for myself, because that's none of my business, and it's not right, But Wyatt, do you have any thoughts on this?
Lots of thoughts. No, we're facing some unprecedented times, because when COVID hit and we all went into quarantine, we thought unfortunately, there are 600, maybe 700,000 people that have died now. And it's unfortunate. Some people died or were affected more by the COVID vaccine than others because of underlying health issues, obesity, stuff like that. But we're facing unprecedented times because there's a COVID vaccine available. There's about 35% of people are skeptical of taking it. So it's a choice. I mean, in America, you have choices, and some people choose not to get it. Some people do, and some people do it because of the job that they're in. Juan's pointed that out several times. The job that he's in, that's why he's taking it. Some people want to wait to take the vaccine and wait a year and not be like take it right away. I really feel like I'm happy. First, I'm happy that the CDC says, hey, you don't have to wear your mask out in public. But I also feel like if you decide not to take the vaccine and you want to take your mask off and be okay with that, that's your choice as an American. And for the president to come out and say this, and we had a president before that would say really bad things, and now Biden coming out and saying this is very damaging. Like, you can't say that. There are people who have a choice, whether it's a religious choice or just a personal choice, that don't want to take the vaccine right now. And if it's their choice to take off their mask because now they're saying, okay, you're vaccinated, let the vaccinated people take off their mask or wear their mask. Why not let the people who say, hey, I don't want to take the vaccine, I'm going to go out and not wear my mask, and if I get exposed, that's my choice, it's my fault. That's what America, that's why we're a free country, because we have choices. Okay, but I fear that we're going to get into those. We're going to get it if what Biden says. We're going to get into more of, okay, well, now you have to show a vaccine card, or you have to show it on your phone, a vaccine passport. I feel like it's going in this direction, and like Julia says, this is borderline socialist, communist type of society where now you're forced to get it. Okay, and there's a lot of people that don't want to be forced to do something. Give people choices. You saw what happened in Texas and Florida. You see, they open up the states fully, and look what's happening. I mean, their cases have gone down. So why not give people choices? If you want to get vaccinated, or if you want to wear your mask in public, it's your choice. Now, I'm not a vaccinated person. I'm going to wait, and that's fine. My 6-month-old child, he goes to his checkups, he gets his vaccines. I'm not an anti-vaxxer whatsoever. I want to wait a year or so to take the vaccine. Okay. I went out to an event on Saturday. I didn't wear my mask. That was my choice because we didn't have to. Now, when I came home, I wore.
Can I ask you something? I gotta ask you something. I can't help myself. How many bottles of essential oils do you have in your house right now at this moment?
I don't have any. That's funny though. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I went to an event on Saturday. I didn't wear my mask because I didn't want to, but I was safe when I came home in front of my 6-month-old child and my wife. I wore my mask for about 4 days just to make sure I know you have to wear it for longer, but I wore it for about 4 days to make sure that, I didn't get exposed or anything like that. But I just feel like give the American people a choice. Don't put these damning tweets out just like our former president did, because it's going to divide the country even more. And it's that borderline, like Julia says, of communist or socialist, because it's just a little spark, and then when this happens, who's to say they're not going to force more things on you? So it is scary just to see that tweet that he put out like right away today. But I am happy that the CDC has said, hey, you're vaccinated, you can be indoors without a mask. There's still a little bit of restrictions, or you can be outdoors. I like how we're making progress because of the vaccine.
It is 5 minutes past. Breaking news. Sorry, I don't mean to change the subject abruptly, but breaking news here on Point Discussion. There has been a shooting in Providence, Rhode Island. Right now, up to 8 people have been shot. So we are going to be watching that here. That's just coming in at about 10 minutes ago. It is 8 o'clock, 8:05 on the East Coast. So Again, there is a report out right now that 8 people have been shot in Providence, Rhode Island. We will stay on that, and of course, tweet out from the main page anything else that comes from that. So, any final thoughts on the COVID issue here? This COVID vaccine, which of course is going to continue to bring a lot of controversy, guys. I mean, this is not going to go away anytime soon. Unfortunately, this is going to be one of those things that people are going to say, well, it's a vaccine. Do you get it because of the good for the public good, or do you not get it because of your own personal beliefs and decisions that you as a competent American citizen are able to make or not make? That's going to really be the debate here, I think, for the foreseeable future. And it's going to be the debate with anything else that comes up related to any vaccine, right? We have this argument every year with the flu vaccine. Do we get it? Do we not get it? But I think that with the COVID pandemic and how everything has transpired, in the past year and a half almost now, this one's going to be very controversial, I think, because of the fact that it's also such a new illness, new viral infection in our society, and of course the amounts of news coverage that this illness has gotten. It's going to continue to be a very hot topic, at least for the foreseeable future.
I agree, and I just want to. I can't. One of these days, I want this to be all be in history books, like in 5 years, and everything's normal again.
You think that'll come anytime soon, though? I mean, if you actually sit down and think about it, is that something that we're going to be able to?
I think so. I think a year from now, we'll be damn near back to normal.
I really hope so too, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
For real. Hey, I'm crawling. I'm crawling right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we move on, do we have talking points for this week? This is a live blooper for those who are watching, because yours truly does not remember if we actually have talking points for the week. Do we or do we not?
We don't.
We don't. Okay. That's totally fine. Things happen. You're on a live show. Things happen. All right. So again, remember, we are monitoring that shooting in Rhode Island that has occurred. Reports coming in that 8 individuals, we don't know if they're children, adults yet, have been shot. And of course, we will continue to bring coverage on that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and move on to our sports commentary here for the week. Again, powered in part by our friends over at Fanatics. Remember to visit fanatics.com and check out their deals on all of your favorite teams and your favorite sports merch. Adam Thielen is under some scrutiny from a lot of fans up in Green Bay from this some comments that he made this week. One of the things he had said was he was on a podcast. I forget which podcast it was. It was a golf-related podcast, and he was asked a question about Lambeau Field. And his response to the question, or his statement that he said was something to the extent of, the locker rooms are crap. The seating, the bleacher style seating that they have at Lambeau. And of course, Packer fans are up in arms about it because they're like, "Oh, look, it's Adam Thielen talking, crap and all this and that, and calling Lambeau, a piece of trash." Here's the thing. All right, I'm a Bears fan first and foremost. We all know that. Julie especially knows that because I roast him about his Lions every week.
What are you injecting? What are you injecting? What is this? Why are you mentioning the Lions right now?
I was just trying to add it on to the point that I was making. You're the one who's getting all hostile about it. I'm just trying to move along with my point that I'm trying to make. It just happens to be that the the Detroit Kitty Cats were brought up. I just wanted to just stick that in there.
It won't be this way forever, Juan. Go on.
It won't be this way for the foreseeable future. or it'll be
For
probably
the near
after
future, it will. It will
after you and I both are long gone from this earth. I've been to Lambeau Field on a few occasions. And as much as it hurts me to say it, I'm going to say it. It's a nice stadium.
I don't believe you.
It is actually a decent stadium. It's a nice stadium. I mean, you walk in, obviously Soldier Field, nothing beats Soldier Field. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Soldier Field's a, trash, because it's not. But you walk into Lambeau and it actually feels like you're walking into history. I mean, you're walking into a historical, you're walking into a stadium that represents a historical team. And the way that it's done in Lambeau, they're able to make some of that nostalgia, but also keep that modern appearance. It's a very well maintained stadium, and it's nice. I mean, it's a nice area. The campus, the atrium at the front. I was actually just up there. I think it was. Oh man, it was probably last August, I believe. I actually went up to Lambeau and saw it again. October. Adam Thielen, I mean, I understand they have a state-of-the-art stadium up in Minnesota, but that's only been there for how long? But I think that for him to say that, that, Lambeau's a piece of garbage or whatever he said, and calling it old and saying that the locker rooms are all bad and whatnot. I mean, I think they're just ignorant comments on his end. And probably, of course, the rivalry that exists between the Packers and the Vikings. I mean, you can't deny that either. Someone in the comments is saying that it was funny that his wife called him out on that. I believe that's Michael Rhodes, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's who it is. I'm just going off of the handles on Twitter. But Adam says it's the Fenway Park of the NFL. Whoever wrote Soldier Field is still better. I believe that was Wyatt. I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say that Soldier Field isn't my favorite stadium. But again, to knock on Lambeau, though, I think it's just ignorant and it's stupid. But that's my take on it. And again, this is coming from a Bears fan, but I'm trying to be as non-partial and non-biased as I can, because I think that the audience who's listening, at least, deserves some impartiality. Packers Fanatico 94 has joined the chat. Okay, well,
wow.
So
Packers Fanatico, what the heck is going on?
That's a good one.
I have been
in
the span of 3 days. In the span of 3 days, I have been called Cubs Fanatico, Bears Fanatico, Packers Fanatico 94. I mean, come on. I mean, that doesn't even. I'm not even angry. I am hurt. I am upset.
I can't believe people call you that.
Packers Fanatico 94 has joined the chat. I am. Oh man, that one.
You should have screenshotted that one.
God, no, I'm looking at it. I don't need to screenshot it. It's right on my screen.
Oh, that is funny though.
Somebody should really make an account.
Well,
they're gonna make a parody.
We're not gonna put any ideas out there for our general audience. But yes, Packers Fanatical, that one stings a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
So with Adam Thielen, he's 30 years old. He's a millennial, born in 1990. I can see where he's coming from. As a millennial, I'm a millennial, but I've always cherished or liked, iconic stadiums like Fenway Park, like Adam mentioned on YouTube. That is a stadium I want to visit. Any iconic park, like Wrigley Field. I'm sorry, Juan. I know you said you didn't like it or it was trash, but I always felt, and I've always visited Wrigley Field. I'm not a Cubs fan, but I've always visited Wrigley Field because I like those old iconic stadiums. Lambeau Field would be on my list. I'm not a Packers fan, obviously. I'm a Bears fan, but I definitely would want to see a Bears-Packers game in Lambeau Field. So there's some iconic things. Like, who cares? Like, I looked at the locker room. I Googled the images of the Packer locker room. They updated it. Like, Adam Thielen is just being a Nancy boy from Minnesota. I mean, I don't really care about Adam Thielen. I mean, I don't really care for the guy because I don't know. I'm just going to keep it like that. I don't really care for him. Like, I don't like him whatsoever. So I just think his comments are really dumb. Like, to say that, like, it's an iconic stadium. Like, you know, imagine them tearing down Fenway Park or Lambeau Field. Like, you know, I mean, when they did that to the old Yankee Stadium, I mean, it was kind of, a lot of people were upset by that. But he doesn't know what he's talking about. And so I'm sorry I called him a Nancy boy. Is that not okay to say? But it's just, I like iconic stadiums. Like, there's certain stadiums that I would like to go see. That's on my bucket list, and Lambeau Field is one of them. As soon as that Aaron Rodgers retires, I'm going to a Packer Bears game to watch Justin Fields torch him with 6 touchdowns.
Well, I thought that's happening this year. Is he not retiring this year? Is that not the narrative that we're
I
going
hope
with?
so.
By the way, I just want to make it known that I know exactly who it is that commented those things, and I am I will be throwing hands. I will be throwing hands after this episode is over. You can dream that he does. We can only dream that he retires.
Yeah,
for
I do.
the
I do
time
think he
being,
retires, yeah.
for the time being, Rodgers' retirement lives completely 100% rent-free in my mind.
Most
I kind of
definitely.
want the Bears. I kind of want the Bears to beat him. Like, I don't want him to retire, but I don't really know if the Bears can beat him without my man Justin Fields taking the field.
Listen, this is what I want. I don't want the Lions to beat Aaron Rodgers. I don't want that. I want the Lions interceptions on Jordan Love and Packers fans cry. That's what I want.
Oh, so now you're turning your anger towards the Bears.
No, I said Jordan Love from the Packers. I didn't say Justin Fields. I want that.
Okay, sorry. For some reason my mind, because it just
y'all have Justin Fields. They have Jordan Love. Juan, you got
no. It just happens to be that whenever you bring up, the division, you have to slide in some Bears,
listen,
trash talk in there. So I thought it was the Bears.
I hope the Lions pick off Fields 5 times too. The same thing. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers anymore. I'm Aaron Rodgers fatigued.
Just like you're fatigued about your Detroit Lions being last in the division every year.
I knew you was gonna mention that, Wine. But guess what? Enjoy this time right here, Wine. This little gap you have between the selection of Justin Fields and real life reality NFL season. Enjoy this time, buddy, because reality is coming.
I hope you and your Detroit Kitty Cats are ready to get swept by the Bears this season.
It's not going to happen, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Actually, we're going to make predictions.
Justin Fields is going to light you all up, and I am going to be all there for it, 100%.
We're going to be there together, buddy, because we're going to Detroit on Thanksgiving, Ford Field, downtown Detroit, and we're going to watch the Lions destroy the Bears on Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble.
I am going to I'm gonna be carrying a bucket, and I'm gonna be walking next to you with your tears in it. After the Bears put up Bears are gonna put up like 40 points on your poverty franchise.
If that happens, it'd be my drunk tears.
I'm gonna make you walk out with you're gonna walk in with a Jared Goff jersey. You're gonna be walking out with the Justin Fields jersey at the end of the game.
I'm gonna be stumbling out with a Justin Fields jersey if that happens.
Got a question in the chat. When Fields is actually going to be the starter? Wyatt, I will let you take that one because I've talked too much in the past 5 minutes.
I've been thinking about this long and hard. I mean, I want to see how he performs in camp. And what I've been hearing from like a lot of beat writers that are like insiders for the Bears or know what's going on is that they don't want Fields to start. But I feel like Andy Dalton, like from last year when he got that concussion and he was out a couple games, I feel like if he gets hurt, they're going to put Fields in. Like, why roll out with Nick Foles, or is he going to stay? So I'm thinking it has to happen before week 10 or maybe right after the bye week. I think Justin Fields would go in, especially depending on the record. Like if the Bears, they think they can win 10 games with Andy Dalton. I don't think you can win 10 games with Andy Dalton. And that's just me, but I'm thinking it depends on the record, and it depends how Andy Dalton's playing, and it also depends on his development. Like I know Nagy wants to wait like they did with Mahomes, but what I heard was Mahomes was ready to take over that first year. Like he was playing really good at camp. He was playing really good. But Alex Smith had like an MVP year, so they're like, we'll just sit him behind. So it'll be interesting to see. I really think Nagy and Pace have to have an extension on their contract, because if not, then Justin Fields would be rolling out the first game of the season, you know. But let's say he balls out on preseason. Are you going to deny that guy to sit on the bench when he can give the Bears the best chance to win? Because honestly, I don't see Andy Dalton giving the Bears the best chance to win.
You know, those are. Go ahead, Julius.
Or heck, no, go ahead and announce the next comment, because I was going to mention something.
Yes, I was gonna do that too. But just really quickly, no, I agree with you, and I think that if the Bears were to start off, obviously with like a losing, let's say the Bears start, like 0-3 or something, 0-2. I mean, you would think that by that point, I mean,
you mean if they lose to the Lions?
Anyways, if they lose, you would hope that by that point, Matt Nagy would say, "All right, obviously Dalton isn't the answer. Let's give the rookie a try." I mean, it's just why not? But it says in the comments, wouldn't it be important to let Fields play so that Allen Robinson sees what his future is, or see what the future is, and maybe to convince him to stay? That's a very telltale sign or a comment, because if you can please Allen Robinson, right, with the player who is standing behind center, we could. I mean, who knows? Who knows if Rodgers would want to stay in Chicago, pending what he sees. The performance that Fields is able to put up in the regular season game. Now, keep in mind, there's also the preseason game. So I'm curious to see which game Justin Fields will be playing in the preseason, because all those games are going to be, ecstatic too. I mean, it's going to be an electric. I'm very excited, Julius. You're shaking your head. I am so excited.
Please stop this Bears propaganda on the show. This outpouring. You're going on a pro Bears rant, one. Let me snap Bears fans back to reality from an outsider's point of view, real quick, on this Justin Fields thing.
Oh God, the poverty point of view. Okay,
this is unbiased. Just no Bears Kool-Aid, nothing, because y'all just fans. That's what y'all is, fans. Justin Fields, Andy Dalton don't got a chance in HEW hockey stick to stay the starter past week 1. Guarantee he lose week 1. Matter of fact, if Justin Fields if he get a touchdown in the preseason, Chicago media, fans, everybody gonna be calling for Fields to start. Andy Dalton got the whole world against him. Literally, he does. And he's not good enough. No, he's not good enough to win 10 games. And y'all might as well just see what Fields got. I mean, if he looked competent in the preseason, okay? Dwayne Haskins did not look competent in the preseason with Washington, his rookie season or his sophomore season. And you could kind of tell. You can kind of tell. You could kind of get that eye test, you have with rookies. That's what I love about the preseason, honestly, is that I get to see the rookies in full action, right? And so if Fields, I'm telling you, if he showed y'all just a little something, because Andy Dalton is not going to show you what you're hoping for, okay? This is not going to be Trent Dilfer and 2,000 Ravens. Okay, this is not happening. Okay, I don't care how good y'all defense is. Y'all gonna be asking for Fields. Okay, Bears Twitter is gonna be asking for. They asking for him right now.
I was gonna say. We've been. I mean,
y'all
we've been asking
profile
for
pictures of the man. I mean.
All right. Hang on. You're not going to rip Bears fans for having the Justin Fields profile pic, okay?
Listen, it's Justin Fields mania right now. Y'all didn't even do this for Mitch, okay? When Mitch got drafted, y'all was scared. When Justin Fields got drafted, y'all.
I think it was because I think it was because a lot of people knew what. I think a lot of people had maybe a very, very rough outline of what Mitch was going to bring.
And y'all traded up for him too.
But with Justin Fields, there's just a different hype because it feels like for the first time in a while, the Windy City has a competent quarterback that was actually worth the draft pick on draft night. I mean, that's what it is. And yeah, the Chicago Bears fans are excited. We are, we're pumped for this season. I personally can say that I am very excited to see what this young man brings to the Chicago Bears offense.
Preseason, baby.
And preseason will be the first sign where I'm going to see whether or not he's ready. I mean, if he's ready to go out there and just kick some ass. I mean, boot the little Detroit Kitty Cats out of the Windy City when they come into town. I mean,
we play y'all week 4.
Exactly.
I totally expect Justin Fields. That could be his first career start, week 4 against Detroit.
Yeah, and he would wreck you guys. He would straight up demolish the Detroit Lions.
Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait to find out, Juan.
Can't wait to see you in the Bears jersey.
I think the Bears would benefit from trying to extend Robinson now. He sees that the Bears have a competent quarterback. I mean, in Fields, why not extend him? Make the salary cap a little bit more, where they can sign some free agents during the season or in the off season, because his 18 million cap hit, or is a little under 18 million. I think it is 18 million. That's a lot. But if they can free up some money and sign him maybe to a 4-year deal, do it, because now they're showing that, hey, we got a quarterback now. The only thing that Fields, I think, needs to work on, I mean, obviously, getting up to speed with the speed of the NFL, but he didn't get that many snaps under center. So I know they'll work under that because he was mostly from the shotgun. Mm-hmm. But we should talk about records. What do you think our records are going to be for this upcoming season?
The Bears are going 17-0. Book it.
20-0. It's 20-0. It's the Super Bowl.
Dropping my mic. Hang on.
Are you really serious? 17-0? What do you think the Lions are going, Julius?
Is that a serious question, Wyatt? Are you asking me?
0-17.
I don't want you to say 0-6-17, okay? We already know less than that.
Okay, that's fun. I think about it, okay? Where we stand right now, we're only a week removed from the NFL draft, okay? Now, if anybody stays up to date on my other show, Honolulu Blues, the last 2 shows, we dissected the Lions draft.
Shameless plug, Honolulu Blues.
Shameless plug.
Shout out to the guys over there, Nick and what's your other co-host name?
Nick and Adam.
Cool dudes. I my hats off to you guys on what you guys have done. Sincerely mean that.
They're probably listening too.
Good.
And we just dissected the Lions draft, right? And me personally, honestly, I graded the Lions draft as an A, and I came to the conclusion that it was the best, most well-rounded draft of my adult life as a Lions fan that I can remember going back. That doesn't mean anything, though, in my eyes. I don't trust the Lions, okay? I don't trust Jared Goff. Really, Jared Goff is the wild card in all of this, right? If Jared Goff is competent and our offensive line is pretty damn good like it's supposed to be, there is a chance that we can sneak up on a couple teams. Yet our defense is still a huge, huge, huge risk. We had one of the worst defensive seasons in NFL history last season, okay? That don't get fixed in one offseason, okay? So it's still gonna be some stuff going on. I don't have high expectations for this Detroit Lions team, even after the best NFL draft I can remember. The Lions having, I still think that it's very possible they win anywhere between 3 and 7 games. I'll probably put the warm spot right now at around 5-13 or 5-12. I forgot what they added one game, right?
Yeah, it was one.
5-12 then. 5-12, 6-11, whatever you want to call it. I don't have high expectations for the Lions at all.
You know, you could have just said last place and saved yourself like 5 minutes.
Last place, that's cool. The Lions have 4 first-round picks over the next 2 seasons, fellas. We coming, okay? We coming. It might not be this season, but don't be surprised if the Lions whoop up on the Bears because y'all still might be trash. At least I'm accepting right now. I'm not in some Justin Fields fantasy land, okay? The Lions still might be trash. The Bears might be trash too.
I was obviously the schedule just dropped, and I was looking at it, and one of the things that caught me off guard, you know, in the schedule release for the Bears is there are no consistent home or away games in that entire schedule. So you're not playing at home 2 weeks in 2 weeks, or you're not on the road in 2 weeks. Like you're home away. Is that if you know? And I'd be interested to see what if there's someone, you know, if there's Bears fans listening or any other NFL fans listening right now, to, you know, drop a comment in the live chat, right? Is that pattern of being away, coming back home, being away, coming back home during the season, is that going to bring a negative impact to the way that the team plays, or is that not going to affect it at all? I mean, I'm just curious, you know, what people's thoughts are on that. But it was very strange to see that. Needless to say, Wyatt, I don't know if you had any thoughts on kind of the way that the schedule this upcoming season is formatted, because I don't think I've ever seen a schedule that looks like that in its entirety. It was very strange to me.
Yeah, definitely strange. I don't know if any other team has what the Bears have, where it's, you know, they don't have back-to-back home games, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy how that's structured. My thing, and this is kind of going off a little bit on what you're talking about, is they talk about the strength of schedule. Like the Bears have the 5th hardest strength of schedule. Mm-hmm. But that is going off of how teams played last year. Right. And I never look at that. Like I know they're playing, you know, teams that did really well last year, but every year's different. And every player gets, you know, players leave, they come and go from free agency. Each team gets older, like players get older. So things change, injuries happen. So I don't ever look at the strength of schedule like, oh, the Bears are going to go, you know, 5-12 or something like that. It's always different based upon how teams play from year to year. There's not many teams that stay consistent year to year and winning. There's a few teams in the league that you can say, okay, they're going to at least be over 500 or get to 500. So there's not many teams that do that. So I never look at the strength of schedule. I mean, honestly, looking at the schedule, depending on who's the Bears quarterback, how Nagy has changed his offense. Is he going to change his offense as the offensive line got stronger? You always have to look at those variables. Are we going to stay healthy? If we stay healthy, if the offense isn't almost dead last year, I mean, I see that they're going to improve. I would see that. Like hopefully he has better play calling this year. I think the Bears can go by 8-9 or 9-8, maybe push 10-7. But I think I'm leaning towards the Bears are 9-8 this year as far as their record. I would like to say 20-0, like Juan, 17-0 in the season, 3 more wins and they're 20-0. I would like that, but realistically, 9-8 is what I see the Bears going this year.
10-7.
That'd be nice.
10-7. That's my absolute final prediction for now.
We have to be
non-biased, non-homer, realistic expectation. 10-7, 11-6 if we're really, really pushing it. But
You have to
I
split.
want to say 10.
You have to split maybe 10-7 if you split the division games. If you sweep the Lions, sweep the Vikings, split with the Packers, you can see that 10-7. But last year we split with the Vikings, split with the Lions, and got swept by the Packers. So that can't happen for the 10-7 kind of thing. But we've kept our games close. Like most of our games were close last year. So if that's any indication, if we keep it close, we have a chance.
I think we can sweep the Lions. With all due respect, Julius.
No,
I don't think we'll sweep the Vikings. You know, the Vikings they tend to be hit or miss. I have more confidence with sweeping the Lions and the Vikings. Realistically, of course, I would love to sweep the Packers, but that's not going to happen. So unless someone, unless some individual up there who happens to wear number 12 retires and leaves the city of Green Bay. But again, that's all under speculation as well right now as we sit here. Michael says boo in the comments. Well, I'm just waiting for that picture to come out of the locker room and at Lambeau Field that the number 12 plaque or whatever above is gone. So that's what I'm waiting on right now. But gentlemen, it is a little past 7:30 Central here in Milwaukee, and I think we're going to start wrapping up the show here for tonight. Remember that this has been another episode of On Point Discussion, exclusively on the Lounge Room Network. Remember to follow the page at Talks on Point, Lounge Room page, of course, on Twitter at Lounge Room Nets, and of course follow the co-hosts. Julius at the fifth top, my man Wyatt at the Cornelius 7, and of course yours truly, Bears Fanatical 94. Rhino, who is normally here with us, could not join us tonight, but you can find him on Twitter at Sports Talk Rhino. Gentlemen, the Lions suck still, Julius.
Repping for life still. Go Lions! Go Lions!
Mike
Biden's going to tweet that the Lions suck.
out of respect to Michael, because he's a good guy. Talk with him on Twitter. I will put the Go Pack Go up there for him. Rhino usually says that, but he's not here, so
that's blasphemy.
Michael's a good dude. All right, we'll be nice to Michael. He's a cool dude. At Bears Fanatic 194, yours truly. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Remember, tomorrow is Friday. Thank God. I will be at the Brewers game in Milwaukee on Saturday afternoon with
Who are they playing?
With I think it's the Braves, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I think it's the Braves.
I hope they lose.
I'll be out there with Rhino. Rhino, of course, host of the Titletown Lounge and co-host on this show, and Brandon from the Brew City Lounge and the Titletown Lounge. So stay tuned for that. I don't know if we're going to be doing a live event. I don't know what's happening yet. I may not be at all there mentally,
Can you please go streaking on the field for us tomorrow, please? Just one time.
It is the Brew City.
There, expect a live stream of On Point Discussion of me just streaking across Miller Park, the field at AmFam.
Oh God.
Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe. And of course, as is tradition on the show, to end, go Bears and go White Sox, best baseball team in the MLB right now at this very moment. Go White Sox.